Hello everyone, today I would like to share with you some ideas about how to be mentally and emotionally strong. As parents, we need to model this to our children, especially these days, the days that we are facing, the situation that we are facing. Children are watching us, children learn from us. Also, we need to be emotionally and mentally strong because children need this from us. One of the needs that children have is to feel safe. So if we are always freak out, worrying, children don't feel safe. For this reason, I decided to share with you some ideas on how you can become more resilient, more emotionally strong. When we parents are calm, when we believe in ourselves, it makes a huge difference for our life, for ourselves, but not just for ourselves, for our children also. When we are not able to handle the ups and downs of life, the challenges that life throws at us, things can feel pretty bad and out of control, and children can see this. Now, wouldn't it be nice if you could face any challenges, any obstacles, any adversity with confidence, knowing that you can handle, that you can bounce back from anything? Well, let me tell you that it is possible. You totally can do that. Your children can. Anyone else can become mentally and emotionally strong. All what you, your children, and anyone else needs is to work on building confidence and resilience. Also learn how to regulate emotions when tough times do come around. Tough times will come up. We can't prevent them, but how we respond, it is in our control. Of course, building confidence and resilience is not something that happens overnight. No, it is a journey. Important it is to be persistent. Now, let's understand what it means to be emotionally resilient. Being emotionally resilient and mentally strong or resilient means adapting well to things like tragedy, adversity, trauma, stress. Resilience and confidence is not something that you, me, or anyone else were born with. No, it is a process that can be learned. It's something that we need to build. Being emotionally strong doesn't mean that we do not experience pain. You won't experience pain or you won't suffer. Resilience is often learned when one is faced with an extremely painful situation. What does it mean is that when you face a difficult situation, you need to rebuild yourself, you need to bounce back and move on through those experiences. To develop resilience, you will want to focus on building particular skills such as making plans, put those plans into action, also develop confidence, a positive view of yourself, learning to manage strong emotions and impulses, and learning to communicate and problem solve. To be mentally and emotionally strong, a person needs to learn about emotional regulation. Learning to manage your emotion is something very, very important. It's another important part of becoming emotionally and mentally strong. Again, you, your child, your children, and anyone else might not be able to control what life throws at us, at you. But what you, your children, and anyone else needs to remember is that there it is a choice. Also, learning to control emotions is something that anyone needs to work on. And anyone can learn to control their emotions in a way that it will help them feel more calm, better. If you want to change how emotional you feel, then you got to change what you spend your time thinking about. Unfortunately, this can be tough. When we are caught in a worry, in a spiral circle, it can be very difficult to refocus the mind on your work. It will be hard to be present with the person sitting next to you. When you are trapped in obsessing about how you feel, it is hard to take action on the things you know it will make you feel better or it can change your life. Your ability to escape unhelpful thinking patterns and all the emotional chaos they produce depends on your ability to control your attention, to notice where are you paying your attention. Is to something useful or unuseful? If it is unuseful, then you need to redirect it to somewhere else in a way that it is more helpful, and keep it in that direction so that you do not get trapped or sucked back into thinking unhelpful thoughts. Your ability to control your attention, it's like a muscle. And if you do not exercise it, it will remain weak. This means your mood, your emotion will be at the mercy of whatever comes to the mind. If you want to control your moods and become emotionally strong, it is very, very important to learn and control your attention. Another thing that it will help is to make yourself strong against negativity. Negativity can come to you, can come to us in different ways. It can come from within us in the form of negative thoughts and harmful self-talk, or it can come from the outside as negative feedback or abuse from other people. While it is beyond our control to remove negativity from our life, to remove people from our life, there are many ways we can manage this. Sometimes we are able to minimize the contact with negative people or toxic people. Sometimes we can even separate from those people. But sometimes those negative people can be from our family members, from our co-workers. So we must keep contact and interact with them. So what can you do in this situation? Well, instead of taking their negativity to heart, you can learn how to not to engage, also set boundaries with that person, even with that family member. One of the most powerful skills you need to develop in order to be mentally and emotionally strong, it is something that children learn while they work with me, and it is a skill that you need to develop, and that skill, it is to get in the habit of using positive self-talk. If you want to be mentally and emotionally strong, you need to watch out what you are saying to yourself. If there is one thing that it will make tough times even harder, it's the negative self-talk. I can't cope with this, I can't do it, why bad things always happen to me. These are just a few examples of negative self-talk. And negative self-talk can quickly make a difficult situation into a harder situation to deal with. So learn to be aware, to identify your negative self-talk and reframe it into more helpful thoughts. One simple strategy is to ask yourself, when you are aware that you have that negative self-talk, is what it is most helpful thought I can tell myself right now. Or what would I say to my best friend if he would go through the same thing? You can also use positively daily affirmations. Positive daily affirmations can help you develop your mental health, your emotional strength. Take a few minutes every day to look at yourself in the mirror and say something encouraging to yourself. You can either say something that you believe about yourself or something that you would love, you would like to believe about yourself. Another thing that it will help is to focus on the things that you can control, that are in your control. When you focus too much attention on the things that are outside of your control, you can't control, There are chances that you may start to feel overwhelmed by a sense of helplessness and fear. However, when you focus on the things that are in your control, that you can control, you are more likely to feel more calm, more productive, more strong, more empowering, more positive. The more you spend your time, your energy on the things that are in your control, that you can control, the less worry you would be feeling, the less time you will spend on the things that you can't control. Plus, you can actually work on protecting your well-being by engaging in activities that are good for you, that it will help you. And my last advice is to try to not resist change and focus on adapting to it. Believe me, I know change can be very overwhelming and stressful, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily bad or dangerous. Sometimes change, it is necessary, and the best way to move forward is to adapt to it. Your energy might be better spent acknowledging and accepting the change rather than struggling and resist it. Some ideas that it will help you adapt to change are to learn more about what's actually changing and how you can deal with it. To ask questions to improve your understanding of the specific changes and how they might affect you. To look for habits to start to implement into your life that it will help you accept the change. To create solid routines that it will help you feel supported as you navigate through new things. To experiment new things. Experiment to see what works well in the face of change. Try to be curious rather than judgmental. I'm hoping these ideas, it will help you. It is very important that we parents to be mentally and emotionally strong, as I mentioned on the beginning of the video. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video.